Good evening, student. In this video lecture, we will try to learn the detail or the ultrastructure of chloroplast. As we have already discussed that the chloroplast is a double membrane bound structure, but here in case of chloroplast, both the membranes are smooth and continuous. The outer membrane is smooth, continuous and freely permeable, just like mitochondria. So the outer membrane is smooth, continuous and freely permeable due to presence of porins, just like mitochondria. Clear? While the inner membrane in case of chloroplast is also smooth and continuous. This is contradictory to mitochondria. Here the inner membrane is also smooth continuous and it is selectively permeable. So the outer membrane is smooth, continuous and freely permeable, while the inner membrane is smooth, continuous and selectively permeable. Now the space between the two membranes, this particular space is called as outer chamber, or it is also called as periplastidial space, as the chloroplast is a plastid and the space adjoining to the chloroplast is called as periplastidial space. While the space bounded by inner membrane, this space which is inside the inner membrane is called as inner chamber, and this inner chamber is filled by the ground substance called as stroma. In case of mitochondria, we have called this fluid substance inside the inner membrane as matrix, but here this fluid substance which is present inner to the inner membrane is called as stroma. Now, inside the stroma, we can visualize a saccular disc-like structures which are called as thylakoid. So these are the saccular disc-like structures which are called as thylakoids. Thylakoids are the structural unit of chloroplast. So thylakoids are considered as structural unit of chloroplast. Okay, and these thylakoids will stack together in a pile like fashion, one above the another, to form a pile of thylakoid, and this pile is called as granum. A single pile is called as granum, and there are so many coils which are piles which are present inside the chloroplast, and all together are called as grana. So these all structures are called as grana, while the single pile is called as granum. These piles or the granum are interconnected with the help of with tube-like channels called as stroma lamellae or freight channel. Clear? So inside the stroma we are having a sac, a disc-like structure, which are actually the structural units of chloroplast, and they are called as thylakoids. These thylakoid will stack together in the form of pile, and that pile, if single, it is called as granum, and there are multiple piles, then they are called as grana. These granas are interconnected with a tube-like structure called as stroma lamellae or Freight channel. Now inside the thylakoid membrane will harbor a space. This space is called as lumen. Okay, so inside the thylakoid there is a space which is called as lumen, and in the membrane of thylakoid, let's say for example this is a thylakoid, and in the membrane, so I am drawing it as a double membrane structure. So this is the outer membrane of thylakoid and this is the inner membrane of thylakoid, and this space is called as lumen. Now inside the membrane there are again globular structures which are called as contasomes. So these are the contasomes, which are actually the functional unit of chloroplast. Now these contasomes will have different pigment system inside it. So these contasomes will have pigments inside them, and these pigments will form pigment system inside the contasome. There are two types of pigment systems which are present in the contasomes. They are pigment system 1 and pigment system 2. So there are two types of pigment system depending upon the reaction center inside the contasome, and these pigment system are responsible for photooxidative phosphorylation, means ATP synthesis with the help of light. So these pigment system are responsible for ATP generation with the help of light. So and so that's why the contasomes are called as functional unit of chloroplast. Now inside the stroma there are various enzymes which are responsible for Calvin cycle. The main enzyme which is present in stroma is Rubisco. Rubisco is the most abundant enzyme which is present inside the stroma, and it is the most abundant enzyme or protein in this world. So do remember this MCQ, the most abundant protein or enzyme in the world is Rubisco, and that Rubisco is present in the stroma. Rubisco is an enzyme of Calvin cycle. So the Rubisco is the main enzyme of Calvin cycle, and it is the most abundant enzyme in the world. Other than that, the stroma will also have its own DNA, the chloroplastal DNA. This chloroplast DNA is also single circular double stranded naked DNA, which is also responsible for cytoplasmic or maternal inheritance. The example for this category is plastid inheritance in case of Mirabilis jalapa. So in case of Mirabilis jalapa, this plastid will get inherited from maternal side. Okay, the ovule will inherit this plastid, and due to that there are various types of variegated leaves which will get produced in Mirabilis jalapa. So this DNA, which is also called as plastidome, the DNA of plastid is called as plastidome, is responsible for cytoplasmic inheritance. Other than that, the chloroplast will have RNA and 70S type of ribosome. So due to presence of own DNA, RNA and 70S type of ribosome, the chloroplast is also a semi-autonomous structure, just like mitochondria, and their division is by binary fission. This chloroplast, just like mitochondria, will have so much similarities with the bacterial cell. It is having outer membrane permeable due to presence of porine. It will have its own DNA, RNA and prokaryotic type of ribosome. So this chloroplast is also considered as cell within the cell, or intracellular prokaryotic cell, or a bacterial endosymbiont. So the chloroplast is also called as cell within cell, just like mitochondria, because there are so many similarity it will have with the bacterial cell. Now speaking about the functions of chloroplast, so if you want to speak about the functions of chloroplast, then the first and most important function of chloroplast is synthesis of ATP, and that reaction will take place in the thylakoids of chloroplast. So ATP synthesis, that is also called as light reaction or photophosphorylation. Photophosphorylation or light reaction, which will take place in thylakoid, and this will gives you ATP. So the first function of chloroplast is production of ATP by the process of photophosphorylation. Then the second function of chloroplast is dark reaction, that is production of glucose. Production of glucose, and which will takes place in the stroma of chloroplast. So with the help of Kelvin cycle, that is dark reaction, the chloroplast will also help the cell for forming the molecules of glucose. This is the main function of chloroplast. Then other than that, the chloroplast is also responsible for cytoplasmic inheritance. The example is plastid inheritance of Mirabilis jalapa. So in case of Mirabilis jalapa, this circular DNA of chloroplast, which is actually a double-stranded circular and naked DNA, this DNA of chloroplast is actually having a very high GC ratio. The guanine and cytosine ratio, that is a GC ratio. So in this particular DNA of chloroplast and mitochondria, we will have a large number of guanine and cytosine nucleotides, and due to presence of this guanine and cytosine nucleotide, GC ratio of these DNAs are very high. These DNA are not having the histone protein, and due to high GC ratio, they will have a high melting point also. So TM value, the melting point of these DNAs are also high due to presence of GC ratio. These DNAs are responsible for cytoplasmic inheritance, as we have speak in case of mitochondria and in case of chloroplast. Both will have high GC ratio, both will have high melting point, and both will be responsible for cytoplasmic inheritance, that is also called as maternal inheritance. And they both, mitochondria and chloroplast, they are both will called as cell within the cell, as they are having so much similarities with the bacterial cell. So this is all about the cell organelle chloroplast. Now in the next video, we'll try to learn about ribosomes. Thank you.